Human beings have had a desire to understand, explain, and control their environment since the beginning of their existence. Science, the product of this desire, represents a tremendous journey extending from the depths of history to the present day. Science is man's ongoing effort to understand the universe, himself, and the complex relationships around him. Simple observations and speculations that began in ancient times laid the foundations of science. This journey from the darkness of the Middle Ages to the light of the Renaissance, and then to the scientific revolution, was shaped by the effort to push the limits of the human mind and solve the mysteries of the universe. Concepts such as atomic theory, evolution, and electromagnetism have become milestones of science and have profoundly changed humanity's worldview. Technological progress, advances in medicine and environmental science, from the Industrial Revolution to today, show the impact of science on society. The rapidly evolving nature of science brings with it new questions along with its ethical issues and effects on the world. In this video, while trying to understand the past of science, we will also discuss today's scientific developments and their future potential. Science has always existed since ancient times, as humanity's effort to understand the unknown and solve the complexity of the universe. This long and rich history is a story that reflects the human mind's curiosity and desire to discover. In ancient times, the first steps were taken to understand the secrets of the sky and nature. Egyptians, Babylonians, and Greek philosophers tried to understand the world through observations and intuition. However, this early science was more intertwined with speculation and mysticism. During the Middle Ages, great scientific advances were made. Scholars during this period made significant contributions to the fields of mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and chemistry. They brought a new perspective to the world of science, with their translations of ancient works and their own experiments and observations. With the beginning of the Renaissance, there was a revival in science. By turning their observations into experiments, scientists discovered that the universe operates in a mathematical order. Names such as Copernicus, Galileo, and Kepler guided the evolution of science by introducing basic concepts such as the heliocentric system, Earth movements, and planetary orbits. The scientific revolution gained momentum in the 17th century. Newton's mechanical laws brought mathematical rigor to science and formulated the general principles of the universe. During this period, interdisciplinary interaction in science increased, and in-depth studies were conducted in many fields. The history of science was shaped by these important periods and discoveries. This journey from the ancient world to modern science is a summary of humanity's effort to understand the world. However, this is just the beginning. After examining the history of science, we will begin to better understand how science has evolved and what questions it seeks answers to today. The history of science is a reflection of humanity's effort to understand the universe, and the most important turning points of this effort are the milestones of science. These critical moments are steps that revolutionize science, open new horizons, and bring humanity to a better understanding. Now, let's consider some of the milestones of science. Atomic theory. The atomic theory, in which Democritus, an ancient Greek philosopher, defined matter as the basic building block, laid the foundation of modern chemistry. When John Dalton later developed this theory, it was understood how elements and components were arranged in atomic order, and the evolution of chemistry accelerated. Newton's laws of motion. The laws of motion formulated by Isaac Newton in the 17th century provided the basic principles for describing physical phenomena in a mathematical way. These laws have deepened the understanding of mechanical concepts by describing general physical principles that apply throughout the universe. Evolution theory. The theory of evolution put forward by Charles Darwin in his work on the origin of species led to a revolutionary change in biology. The principle of natural selection explained how species can change over time and their adaptation processes. The theory of evolution accelerated advances in biology and genetics. Electricity and magnetism. Discoveries in electricity and magnetism in the 18th and 19th centuries laid the foundations of modern technology. Faraday's electromagnetic induction and Maxwell's electromagnetism equations explained how electricity and magnetism combine and contributed to the development of communication technologies. Einstein's theory of relativity. Albert Einstein's theories of special and general relativity explained how space and time interact and how gravity works. These theories shook the foundations of classical physics, revolutionized physics in the early 20th century, and opened the doors to modern cosmology. These milestones are just a few examples of revolutionary developments in science. While these discoveries continuously expanded humanity's boundaries in the field of knowledge and technology, they also went down in history as important turning points that led to the evolution of science. These revolutions continue to inspire us on science's endless journey of discovery. Beyond just experiments and theoretical studies conducted in laboratories, science also has profound effects on the general dynamics of society. The effects of science on society are a phenomenon that has existed since the Industrial Revolution until today. Now, let's touch on some important points that outline this effect. Industrial Revolution and technological progress. The Industrial Revolution is one of the most important effects of scientific and technological progress on social transformation. This period is characterized by the development of steam power, mechanization, and fabrication. The integration of science and technology has fundamentally changed economic and social structures by accelerating production processes. Advances in medicine and health sciences. Scientific and medical discoveries have made significant contributions to extending human life, treating diseases, and improving the quality of life. Vaccines, antibiotics, modern surgical techniques, and genetic research have led the evolution of healthcare and improved public health. Environmental science and sustainability. Science has strengthened the concept of sustainability by focusing on environmental problems. Scientific research on issues such as climate change, sustainable use of natural resources, and reducing environmental impacts encourage societies to take environmental responsibility. Technological transformation and communication. Science, along with developments in communication technologies, has brought societies closer to each other. The digital revolution has created a global information network and caused major changes in areas such as communication, education, and commerce. The impact of science on society also shapes education systems and encourages scientific thought. Access to information and science-related education enables societies to act in a more conscious and informed manner. With its impact on society, science has become a powerful tool of transformation. However, this impact has also brought with it ethical responsibilities and social inequalities. Therefore, paying attention to ethical values and social justice principles when evaluating the effects of science on society is important to understand how scientific progress can be used for a sustainable and just society. New discoveries and technological advances. Science is in constant evolution and is shaped by new discoveries, theories, and technologies every day. Under the title Current Situation in Science, let's take a look at some important developments that currently excite the scientific world. Current developments in physics. In the field of physics, topics such as particle physics and black holes continue to be a focus of researchers. Facilities such as the Large Hadron Collider perform various experiments to understand fundamental particles and unravel the structure of the universe. Innovations in biology. Biology is making rapid progress in the fields of genetic engineering, cellular therapies, and biotechnology. New technologies such as CRISPR-Cas9 offer significant potential for gene editing. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Artificial intelligence and machine learning continue to revolutionize computer science. Advanced algorithms, big data analysis, and deep learning are used in a range of application areas, from medical diagnostics to innovations in the automotive industry. Space explorations. Space research continues in a wide range, from explorations to Mars to telescopes sent to distant galaxies. Space agencies and private companies are developing new technologies for future space exploration. Climate science and sustainability. Climate change and sustainability issues have become an important priority in the scientific world. Research on renewable energy sources, carbon footprint reduction strategies, and environmental impact reduction is progressing towards finding solutions to global problems. These developments, which we discuss under the title Current Situation in Science, reflect not only the past but also the current dynamics of science. This rapid change and development is of great importance in understanding how science affects societies, and how it can shape their future direction. Science is in a constant evolution and continues to push limitations with its potential for expansion. Under the leadership of the future of science, let's take a look at some of the important trends and expectations that will shape the scientific world in the coming years. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. Artificial intelligence will continue to revolutionize the field of science and technology. More advanced algorithms, deep learning, and neural networks will enable artificial intelligence systems to accomplish more complex tasks, making it possible to use these technologies effectively in healthcare, transportation, manufacturing, and many other sectors. Biotechnology and genetic engineering. Biotechnology, genetic engineering, and synthetic biology could lead to breakthrough changes in the medical, agricultural, and energy sectors in the future. New discoveries can be focused on topics such as treating diseases at the genetic level, making plants more productive, and producing biological energy. Space exploration and colonization. Advances in space exploration may enable the search for extraterrestrial life and the colonization of planets such as Mars. Space mining and resource exploration efforts could allow humanity to establish a greater presence in space. Sustainability and environmental science. Scientific studies that seek solutions to climate change and environmental problems can direct future sustainability efforts. Developments in renewable energy technologies, reducing environmental impacts, and efficient use of natural resources can help societies build a more sustainable future. Education and science communication. In the future, science communication and education will become even more important. The scientific world must find more effective ways to understand discoveries and explain them to wider audiences. Additionally, education in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics will play a critical role in training future scientists and leaders. These issues, which we discuss under the title Future of Science, show how science can shape the potential to find solutions to the challenges faced by humanity. Future scientific developments, technological revolutions, and social impacts will make the role of science even more important and carry humanity into a new era. In this process, ethical responsibilities and sustainability principles should not be ignored, and scientific progress should contribute to providing the greatest benefit for humanity. While science aims to unravel the mysteries of the universe and advance technology, the ethical dimensions of these efforts should also be considered. Under the title of Science and Ethics, let's focus on the ethical responsibilities of the scientific world and the effects of these responsibilities on society. Ethical issues in science. Science faces a variety of ethical issues. When decisions are made on issues such as genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, human experiments, and environmental interventions, taking ethical values into account is of critical importance for the protection of society and nature. Genetic engineering and ethics. Gene editing techniques such as CRISPR-Cas9 are revolutionizing the field of genetic engineering. However, determining the ethical limits of genetic interventions requires raising awareness of the potential consequences of manipulating genetic inheritance. Artificial intelligence and automation. The rapid development of artificial intelligence and automation brings with it ethical issues. Making accurate and fair decisions on issues such as algorithmic fairness, data privacy, and workforce interactions is one of the responsibilities in this field of science. Human rights and scientific research. Human experiments, clinical research, and the use of scientific methods in general require respect for the rights of participants. Establishing ethics committees and standards is critical to ensure reliability and ethics in scientific research. Environmental science and sustainability. As science searches for solutions to environmental problems, it is important that these solutions are ethically sustainable. Protecting nature, sustaining species, and ensuring ecosystem balance are part of the environmental responsibility of science. While the scientific world aims for discovery and progress, it must strictly adhere to ethical values so that these efforts are for the benefit of society and the environment. Scientists, researchers, and decision-makers should make a continuous effort to understand the ethical responsibilities of science and to act within this framework. This is a critical step for ensuring both scientific advances and social welfare. Science has been a powerful tool of curiosity, discovery, and understanding since the dawn of humanity. In this video, we took a journey on the past, milestones, social impacts, current status, and future of science. Science leaves deep traces not only in laboratories and academic circles, but also in our daily lives, advances in technology, and environmental sustainability efforts. In the light of science, we can see how evolution and discovery feed each other. From atomic theory to space colonization, from the discovery of electricity and magnetism to genetic engineering, science has been a powerful tool for seeking answers and asking new questions for humanity. As we advance in fields such as artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and environmental science, scientists and societies must observe ethical values and sustainability principles in the use of these technologies. In the future, the role of science will expand further and prepare humanity for more complex problems. Developments in fields such as artificial intelligence and space exploration will lead to major changes that will shape the scientific world in the coming years. In this journey of science, scientists, researchers, and societies must work together. Knowledge sharing, adherence to ethical values, and sustainability principles will enable science to contribute to a fairer, more conscious, and more sustainable world. In conclusion, science and technology have profoundly influenced the evolution of humanity, and this influence will continue in the future. Under the guidance of science, humanity will have greater access to knowledge, find solutions, and build a brighter future. In this journey, cooperation and understanding between science and society will take humanity to a higher level.